we ride with both quarterbacks. As a player on this team, I will make sure that both guys are supported, and I will make sure that we give each of these quarterbacks a chance to win each of these games. No matter who's in there, we got a chance. Russ and Justin, we're going to support. Welcome back to Not Just Football. We have a new episode, and today we have a lot going on. We are recording on Tuesday afternoon, and it's been an insane day in NFL history. Wide receivers getting changed, coaches getting fired just a week ago. A lot going on, but Hayden, how you feeling?
Good. Feeling really good. Victory Monday. As much as I'm sure you love Victory Monday, fans love it too. This has been a good weekend, good win. And you're right. Glad we're recording today because there has been a ton going on. I mean, a guy who was linked to be your teammate has gone to the Jets, and another guy who was gone to the Bills, who was a division rival now. So it's been a crazy day.
Wow. Yeah, they're all just so be teammates, it is what it is.
I will say, I am so sick and tired of this wide receiver watch as a Steeler fan. It was Ayuk for weeks, then it was Devante Adams for a little bit. Now it's I don't know who, but I don't even know if they're going to make a trade. So I'm just going to stop worrying about that.
Well, that's what makes the Minka trade so cool in years past, because nobody knew it was happening with Minka. And then, it's like waking up the next morning and figure out it was Christmas. You wind up with an all-pro at safety. So let's stay even, stay focused, and we'll see what happens.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, I'm not saying
what
there's
you're
a chance.
saying.
No,
There's a
I'm
chance.
not doing that crap.
Listen. You just gotta give me hope. That's all you got to do. All right. All right. Well, let's go to the game though. Defense played really well. Scored 30 points. How'd you feel about the defense's output today? Or on Sunday?
I think to start off the game, we didn't have our best drive. Tip your cap to them. They came with a good plan to start off the game, but after that first drive, after the touchdown they had, I thought we settled in as the defense and didn't give up a lot after that. Overall, I thought we stopped the run pretty good. We got some turnovers. Offense ran the ball extremely well. Najee and Justin. I think we could have got a little bit more from the passing game, but to go to all the way to the West Coast and play a storied franchise like that, we're not going to apologize for winning.
No, and I think you guys, I know you won there last year, but that's always been a tough place to play, playing out against them, whether it's Oakland or Vegas, I would imagine. Mm-hmm. So I would say 57 rush yards allowed has to make you very happy. What'd you think of the front seven and how they stopped the run this week, struggled last week?
Man, I thought it was a step up from last week. I thought we played downhill, set good edges, all while having guys like Jamario Moon, Iku, Ade, guys who, hadn't been playing a lot, just not that they can't be good pros, they just haven't had a chance to. So I thought they did an amazing job. Our linebackers flew downhill, I thought TJ, Keanu, Larry, all had a hand in stopping the run.
Landon Roberts too. That guy is a heat-seeking missile out there. I mean, and Patrick Queen too played a great game too. I mean, the defense played really, really well. TJ, what do you think about that Peanut Tillman punch, man? I mean, it is kind of insane how good he is at that.
Well, he had two this past week, and I have it in here as my game ball. But I like to say he's causing problems, but he's feeding families at the same time. And so, we are very thankful that dude has a agenda of punching the ball loose. Every time he's out there, he's trying to get a piece of it. It's a trick of the trade. We practice it every week, but to go out there and have success like he's having, man, that is wonders for us. So kudos to him, but we're going to need some more here from here on out.
I agree. I think the coolest thing of him is everybody talks about the sacks, but every time we talk about anything, you always say stopping the run is just as important as getting to the quarterback, and he did both those against running back. So I think it's really cool that not only is he great at getting the quarterback, but he didn't sack anybody on Sunday, but he got 2 turnovers, right?
Oh, bro, I totally agree. When you look at what TJ does, it's not just play the pass. It's about being a complete player. I know a lot of these guys, they just want to rush the passer and they don't give a damn about the run. He's a complete player. And I think we have to start judging people or players, especially in the fronts, if they can do both, not if they can do one. Because I think we're limiting, we're limiting the way we judge players, and we're not holding them to the esteem of our history. You look back and you talk about Dwight. Why am I saying Dwight Freeney? I was going to say Reggie White. I don't know why it's just Reggie White, or you talk about Joe Green, or you talk about J.J. Watt. The great guys, Aaron Donald. It wasn't just playing pass and then just taking plays off in the run. TJ's on that level where play in and play out, you have to be accountable for him. And you just see it. And I'm glad people are recognizing he's not just a pass rusher out here.
Yeah, hell of a game by him. All right, I want to go to you a little bit, though. You got to face off against a rookie this weekend, Jackson Powers Johnson. I believe he's out of Oregon. You had good time with him, I feel like. What did you see in him, and how much do you love as a vet who's been in the league 15 years when you see a rookie across from you?
What the hell? I've only been in the game 14. You just gave me an extra year.
It's better for the story to just say 15. Sorry. It's better for the story. It's rookie versus 15-year vet. Sorry.
Okay, well, if I'm adding to the story, I was already pissed about the Ohio State-Oregon game, right? And so, point. I went in the game saying I'm going against the Oregon Duck. I got to let them feel it. But, when it's always something that, you want to take advantage of a rookie O-lineman because they don't understand the game as well. He's probably going to have a great career. But, I think there's a lot to this game that, a lot of O-linemen still have to learn. So you relish those opportunities. I knew in this game, especially early on, it was going to be tough to get to him get to the quarterback just because O'Connell is more of a rhythm quarterback. So you're not going to get a lot. You look at what we had, we didn't get a lot of sacks because they were still in the game early on. And that led, to the game being closer. And then when we kind of broke away, we were able to rush the passer a little bit better. And then I got my chance to really rush. So, tried to take advantage of it and, had some fun.
Almost had two in that last possession. I was hoping you'd get there.
I was trying to get to that one. He just threw it away. Yeah.
What do you do, though? It feels like the teams are now trying to get the ball out really fast against you guys because you are so good at getting to the quarterback. So how do you kind of counteract that as a defense?
Well, we got to get them off rhythm. I think we got to create, longer downs and distance. First down, we have to, it's a little cliche, but we talk about getting our hands up and, batting some of these balls down just to get them off rhythm. If we can get them off rhythm, then we can have a lot more success, and then we can pin our ears back because – taking away that run look or that quick game look, and they have to go downfield, then we can really mess with them.
Yeah, no, really, really good performance. Nice bounce back. How about that Najee dive from the 5?
Yeah, I'm glad he got in. I didn't know if he did, but it was close. But man, that run was pretty special. If you look at like the bird's eye picture of where it started and where it ended up, it's pretty special because it looks like he was about to be bottled up. But, I think that's one of those runs you got to save and, put in your reel.
That dude runs hard, man. I mean, people were bouncing off him. All right, well, hey, congratulations on the win. You just beat Tom Brady. He was just approved as an owner of the Raiders, so congratulations on beating Brady this weekend, too.
I feel good about beating Brady one more time, but I feel bad for him, and we will address this later in my TFLs. The day he gets approved, some stuff goes down, so I'll get more on that, but, always congrats to Tom Brady to being an owner.
That's NFL conspiracy theory stuff. They're trying to distract you with all these trades. They don't want you to realize Brady's there now, so you heard it here first. Okay.
I don't give a damn.
All right, let's go 3 and out, all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we're going to start off with your team. Russell Wilson is reportedly going to be starting this Sunday for the Steelers. Obviously, Justin Fields has been the guy. You guys are off to a 4-2 start. I think Justin's played really well. What do you think about that, and were you surprised by when you heard it?
Well, I just heard about it not too long ago. I don't know, no one said anything to us, but, we ride with both quarterbacks. We think both of them can have success. It's not a shot at either. I think when you look at these two, these guys were in here to win, and they're doing that. And, I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to, try to predict or be in somebody's mind of what they think, but As a player on this team, I will make sure that both guys are supported, and I will make sure that we give each of these quarterbacks a chance to win each of these games. That's only right. No matter who's in there, we got a chance. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. But Russ and Justin, we're going to support.
Two good options. I mean, I think
Yeah.
either way, you've got two good guys there. I also think, too, I would imagine as a defense, you guys don't really give a damn who's out there. The goal is to go out there and stop the opposing offense.
Unless TJ Watt's at quarterback.
Well, okay.
That's our problem.
Okay. So, okay, I'll get you there. That's fair. But I mean, as a fan, I think it was a little shocking to hear, but I also understand that you guys see what's going on every day, too. Or not you, but the coaching staff sees what's going on every day. And yeah, obviously that means Russ is healthy, which is good too. So it's a nice option to have two options like that. And Justin filled in great, and you can trust him if you have to.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to Monday night for second down. New York Jets lose in a divisional game to the Bills, and then I mean, how soon after Devante Adams is traded to the Jets? What's your opinion of that? You play the Jets this weekend, so obviously that's something that should be on your radar.
Well, I heard Devante was actually at the game. He was sitting in Aaron Rodgers' suite. So we all should have known right then and there. But
wait, is that true?
No, I'm messing
okay,
with you,
I was
bro.
about to say you're breaking news here because I did not see that yet. Okay,
No,
right,
I'm just having fun. I'm playing my TMZ version, CMZ. But I think it definitely improves them. Man, they had a chance to win that game. With everything that went wrong, they still had a chance. You bring in a guy like Devante who immediately helps that team. Your quarterback already has a rhythm with them. He's going to help Garrett Wilson grow. They're in a place where they're trying to win their next game, and luckily enough, it's us. So we're going to have our hands full with those guys. But looking forward to finally playing Devante. We were looking for him last week, didn't see him. Get to see him this week.
So you are expecting him to suit up this weekend and play?
Duh.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he play?
Well, I mean, listen, there's been a hammy issue here, and then I'm not saying I don't know. It's just the timing is kind of incredible that he's going to play the first week since getting traded. I just, it was kind of interesting, I thought.
Well, if that's the case, rest the hammy one more week, my dog.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like, rest it one more week. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think that offense is probably, you could tell me if I'm wrong here, similar to the one he ran in Green Bay. So there really shouldn't be much for him to learn, right? I'm sure some things are different, but it's probably a lot of the same too.
Well, I think just having Aaron, he's going to know what you like, where you want the ball to be. And through that, Aaron's going to put the ball very close where it's been before. So, I think that's a best case scenario for a guy like Devante who, is looking for a quarterback who he trusts.
How does this help a guy like Garrett Wilson?
He doesn't have to be wide receiver 2, but wide receiver 1A, wide receiver 1B. Now they can go out there and wreak havoc. You can't just single in on one guy.
Yeah, and we'll probably look ahead to them here in a little bit, so we'll go more into the Jets. So let's go to third down, though.
Third down. Monday down.
A divisional opponent, the Browns, are trading Amari Cooper to the Bills. Mm-hmm. Man, that makes the Bills pretty good now, too. What do you think about all this movement at wide receiver? I feel like we're at the NBA right now.
Yeah, Amari Cooper, been in the AFC North for a good bit. Much respect for him. He's he's been that security blanket for the Browns for a good bit. But I definitely think it helps out the Bills, man. They, you get a guy that they can rely on that they had in Stephon Diggs just a year ago. I think from the Browns' perspective, you get a pick that, you didn't have as many picks because you gave away so many in so many trades. But, now they have another pick to add to the collection.
Yeah, I think they're 1-5, I think, to start. And you think it's going to be an uphill battle to get back into it. So I understand. I think Cooper's a free agent next year too, right? So I think I understand trying to get rid of him. Shocking, though. I didn't think they'd trade him to Buffalo, but it's a nice pickup for Buffalo for sure, and makes them really good.
I'm surprised Amari Cooper didn't pull the old AB and say I'm not going there and laugh it off. but see what happens.
I will say, in AB's defense, if Josh Allen was in Buffalo at that time, I think AB would probably been more inclined to go to Buffalo. So
Very
I think
true.
Amari's probably pretty happy going to a team with a great quarterback and they're in first place in their division. So yeah, I do love though. Jets make a move. Do you think the Bills had that in the works, or they saw Devante go there and thought we got to make a move now, so they went and got him?
I don't know. I think everybody's going to start picking up with the trade deadline coming up in November, but some of these moves just are indicative of the next, or the last, and so guys get on the phone and they say, "Oh, this is happening," and I feel like the general managers all talk about this and are all going back and forth. Well, if we do this, then this happens, and there's a bunch of scenarios. So this could just be the first domino falling.
So you expecting some fireworks? I mean, there's a lot of guys out there who could get traded. I know Hassan Reddick's a name that's been out there. You expecting fireworks here the next 2 weeks?
I'm just hoping they free my dog, Hassan Reddick. My dog has been locked up, not in the building. I don't know where he's going to end up, but I hope he gets a chance to play because I'm tired of seeing those fines go through because it just keeps adding up.
Crazy, man. I think a team on him, Detroit. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, which was horrible to go down, but I mean,
Yeah. And by the way, we have to say, prayers and thoughts with Aiden Hutchinson, man. I got to do the Super Bowl commercial with him a couple years ago. Thinking about him, you never want to see anybody get hurt. He was off to a hot start. Love the way he plays fast. I want to say he had like some odd number, like extreme odd number of pressures, and it was crazy, but man, that guy is, the heart and soul of that Detroit Lions team. I know a lot of guys are feeling the pain for him, but, just wishing him the best with that.
yeah, it was hard to watch, and I mean, he's an animal out there. I mean, I think he led the league in sacks too, so really hard to watch. All right, let's go to fourth down now.
Ooh, your favorite. This is your favorite one.
fun,
You brought this to the table, so make sure you
you-
deliver this the right way.
All right. Have you heard about the man who's running around a very expensive neighborhood in California called the Piss Bandit?
I have not.
All right, so for years, this guy's been going around and leaving bottles of his urine with notes, with inappropriate notes on there as well too, throughout the very nice neighborhoods in Pasadena, California, I believe. But recently, TikTokers have tried to figure out who it is, but the Piss Bandit is too elusive and they cannot figure him out. You need to check into this story, but I do want to ask, do you have a teammate who you think could be behind the Piss Bandit if there was something like that going on with the team?
Does it have to be a teammate or can it be a friend?
I think it should probably be teammate for purposes of that. Because I don't say me. I'm not leaving no P bandit nowhere. All right, absolutely not. All right?
There's only one culprit that I can think of. His name is Christian Kuntz, and he is definitely the Piss Bandit. I don't know. We were out in Vegas. I don't know how he made it out to California all those times, but to be doing that is just disgusting. No, I'm just kidding. I think I don't have any teammates that would participate in this. I like to think we're a little bit more grown up than that. But man, I guess people have their hobbies.
I mean, he's been doing it for years. At this point, it seems like it's a way of life. And I think that's impressive. I will say, I talked to Kuntz at the fashion show. He is a little upset we've not had him on since he started his podcast. So we probably need to bring Kuntz back on for a short time with a long snapper at some point because I think he genuinely wants to come back on the show. So I figured I'd ask you if that'd be okay.
No, he's just looking for a free pub. I'm not helping him out. He's got to make it on his own. No, I'm kidding.
That could be true.
Yes.
But so the Piss Bandit thing, take away P Bandit. Who's the best prankster you ever played with?
The prankster. I've had a lot. TJ is very key. Being a prank master, I pride myself on my prank.
I was gonna say, I think you think you're.
I do. My sick and demented mind would never go to being a piss bandit, but I do remember Lamar Woodley, my rookie year, him filling up a rookie's car with popcorn, completely to the top, ruined the whole car, but because they didn't bring in the breakfast or the food on Saturdays. I've had other D linemen, and I always made sure I brought in the breakfast. I brought in the Popeyes on Saturday because another guy on the D line, Ziggy Hood, he would throw the rookies' clothes into the cold tub, all of them from the locker room. So you wouldn't have anything to put in. And so you knew, because everybody takes it so seriously. Everybody takes their breakfast on Saturday, their Popeyes on Saturday, very seriously. So we always made sure we took care of that.
I always wonder, how do they get into the car to do the pop? Like, do they just tell like a clubby or something? Like, who are they telling to do this?
They're telling the equipment managers grab the keys. I've also seen a guy put a car on cinder blocks.
What?
Yeah.
Who? Can you say who did that?
I want to say one of the O linemen did it. I think Ramon Foster and Marquise Pouncey made that happen. But yeah.
Wait. When you say cinder blocks, took the wheels off the car?
Yes, and put it on cinder blocks. And they've also got a car towed before. So
whose car got put on cinder blocks?
It was an O lineman, and Ramon and Pouncey weren't playing. They said, "Keep messing with us. This is what we're going to do." And when they got the car towed, the kid was just looking for his car the entire time. So,
that was over breakfast?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What does that cost to get fixed? Like, what do? Do you just... Man, that's... Okay, wow, okay. Ooh. Cinder blocks is probably the worst one. The popcorn, you said the popcorn, though, ruined the car, huh?
Well, and then I will say this. I think Lamar Woodley was treacherous back in the day. He would steal a guy's keys and then just hold on to them the entire night. So the guy would just be looking for his keys all over the building. And then we would hear about the next day and be like, damn, this kid didn't have keys, couldn't get home. So they were ordering an Uber to get home. So it wasn't the prettiest thing.
It sounds like Woodley was a complete menace. Just always doing something.
Yeah. Wrong. And he probably learned that from guys before. It just gets passed down in different ways.
I don't know. I think some of us, though, are more drawn to pranking people than others. I'm not a big pranker. I don't love to do that because I don't really want it happening to me.
Don't act, bro. Now you're just trying to be funny because you definitely egg people's houses, egg cars.
I am not, but as an adult, I'm not a pranker. I'm not ding dong ditching people. I'm not TPing people's houses. I'm not doing that. But I mean,
not
what's
anymore.
Your best prank? What's your best prank you've ever done?
Oh man, best prank I've ever done.
You ever done jock itch in or put the icy hot in someone's
No,
jock?
No, I would never.
Those Peyton Manning stories are horrifying.
I do have a bad story about that. We were, you know what Tiger Bomb and Flexall is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before the St. Louis Rams game, St. Louis Rams, not the LA Rams, St. Louis Rams.
Okay.
The last time we played in the St. Louis Rams stadium, and this was they have the old turf, the hard turf. It's terrible. I'm dealing with something, and so I put Flexall and Tiger Bomb on my hamstring, not thinking anything of it. And I pull up my tights and everything, and I'm ready to go out, and I'm like, "Ooh, this feels a little cold. This is starting to burn a little bit." It's burning. I'm like, this is not the right time because we're about to go warm up. Start going through warm-ups. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. And so as soon as we finish warm-ups, I'm taking off all my clothes. I'm going to jump in the shower before the game. Luckily enough, this is the same game that the St. Louis Rams set the turf on fire. So they bought me some time. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to take a shower, get myself back on, and be ready for the game. But yeah.
I've never heard that story, I don't think. That's amazing. Wow. I've never heard that. But I will say I remembered that game because of the turf thing. I think Ben got hurt in that game too.
Yeah.
But man, so you icy hot yourself.
Yeah. Pranked myself. Boom.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. Really? I won't wish that on my worst enemy.
Really? Wow. That's great. Wow. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. I've never heard that before, so that's great. Wow. All right. let's look ahead to the Jets before we do tackle for loss and game ball, all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Got the Jets coming in. Obviously, they traded for Devante Adams, and they have Aaron Rodgers. They got Breece Hall. They got Garrett Wilson, a really good offense over there. What are you thinking? I have an idea where you're going to say it needs to happen first, but what's the defense got to do?
Like I say every week, gotta stop the run. Brees Hall, you could see last game, he was really about to break free of some of those big runs. It was, there were a couple times they called it back, but I think if that Jets team gets started, it's because of that run game. I know we like to make a big deal about the wide receivers and the quarterback, but when you can have a good run game, and I even heard Kirk Cousins say something, you win games running the ball. I think that is predominantly what they want to be. So we got to make sure we take care of business.
Yeah, no. I mean, that offense is. I mean, I guess my question is too. What's your thought on Devante? Do you think he's going to run the whole playbook, or how do you handle him with Wilson, who's been there the entire time too?
I think you're. I don't want to think the hamstring isn't anything, but I think when you look at them, um, you try to see what he can do on Wednesday, and you just keep building accordingly from there. I know they're dealing with a lot of injuries besides that, but it's going to be interesting to see how they build a plan, how they, conduct things. Garrett's, younger and, is probably grown a lot more in this offense, but Devante's already got the experience and he's got a rhythm with Aaron. So, best of both worlds is you put them both out there.
Have you played Rodgers before? I can't remember if
Yeah,
he was
we
healthy.
played him in Green Bay.
Okay. Was he healthy for that game though?
He was healthy for that game. That was the game. I will say one thing Aaron is notoriously good at. He will recognize when you're going in and out of personnels, and he will try to pick up a free 5 yards. When we were in Green Bay last time, he did a great job of catching us in between, changing personnel, and we almost got called for a penalty. Mike T called a timeout, and then you see that there's a GIF of Mike T and Aaron Rodgers looking at each other. So that's just the sportsmanship and the gamesmanship of it. But Aaron Rodgers is very smart when it comes to the little nuances in the game.
Is he a trash talker?
I don't think he's a big trash talker, but if he's putting up a bunch of points, I think he's definitely capable of talking some crap.
Who are the three biggest trash talking quarterbacks you think you've played against?
Phillip Rivers.
Okay, that's obvious.
Tom Brady.
Okay.
That third one, man.
Those were two quick ones. You got those two out quick.
Phil is notorious for that, and I think Phil he wants all that. I'm trying to think who we played, man. You play these younger quarterbacks. They don't really say much because they're trying not to piss off the wrong person.
Well, that's true too. You probably don't get a whole lot talk to you. How about Josh Allen? I feel like Josh Allen's got.
Josh doesn't talk a lot. Josh is pretty nice. I think Baker can get under your skin.
Really?
Baker, when Baker's on, he's going to let you know he's on. That's just the way he plays. I like it.
How quickly has a guy been talking to you before, and then you pop him, and then you kind of let him know you're there? Have you had that before?
Oh yeah.
Give me one in particular.
This stems back to college.
Oh wow.
Ryan Mallett from Arkansas.
Oh
man, rest in peace. He was a fun competitor to play against. But I remember we're in the Sugar Bowl. I'm having a good game, and you just hear Ryan Mallett jawing back and forth. I'm like, I bet. You keep talking, I'm gonna shut you up. And throughout the entire game, it was might get a quick bump here, might get a nice push off. Once you get the sack, you're just kind of celebrating over him, just enjoying it a little bit more. And I kind of relish when a quarterback wants to have that back and forth with you, because it's oh, he's acknowledging me. Now I get a chance to just shut him up once I'm done with it.
man, Ryan Mallett. I remember that game too, the Sugar Bowl. So it was man. And none in the NFL though?
Oh, in the NFL, no, the quarterback's got way too much to worry about in the NFL, I feel like.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go to tackle for loss and game ball. I'll let you start off. I don't know where you want to go. You want to start tackle for loss first, or you want to go game balls first?
Am I feeling positive or negative today?
That's the question.
Since we won, we'll go positive.
Okay.
My first game ball goes to Aaron Rodgers. He got his guy. He talked about it all the time, getting his guy, Devante Adams. I think we all thought, there's a chance he could go elsewhere, but Aaron Rodgers sees all. I guess the cave talks and the cave walks paid off, and Devante is now a Jet.
The dude just got a lot of sway in that organization.
Yeah.
He maybe allegedly got a coach fired, allegedly. And
Allegedly.
Game ball, I'm going to go Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel and just the Oregon Ducks in general. I mean, I thought that was a great welcome to the Big Ten win. They were the better team Saturday, and it was just a great performance. He was 23 of 34, 341, and 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of defense played on Saturday, bud.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that. I didn't take that loss very well. I do have a game ball for Oregon as well, though. I have to tip my cap to what Dan Lanning did, Coach Lanning did, and being ahead of the curve when it came to game management late. We talk a lot about knowing the nuances and knowing how a game will play out. To put 12 men on the field and let them eat up more of the clock, take the 5 yards, but still be out of field goal range and make them waste even more time. Genius in that approach. You hear about they're having an investigation and changing it. But it's like, why did it take so long to even get to that point? Like, you want to have, the so-called big whiz of NCAA be looking into this stuff beforehand, not just waiting for something to happen. Good job on the Oregon Ducks for executing it.
That is, genius. It's crazy to think what these coaches think about, though, because you wouldn't even with the chaos of the game, you would think you wouldn't even have the wherewithal to think about that. But really, you're going to investigate it too. How do you fix that?
Well, if you do it, then it becomes it should have been a dead ball foul.
So you go back to what the clock would have been.
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking that too. That's how you do it. But it's also too for the officials. There's a lot going on. There's complete chaos at the end of that game. Just a genius play, though. That was
especially coming off a timeout, though. You've got to, I think, in that approach, it's got to be a dead ball foul. Keep the 10 seconds on, but then give the 5 yards. Because if he gets a, you look at that situation, if he runs the ball like he did, which is still in question, they still have a timeout to play with. They can, get up, timeout, kick a field goal, win the game. So then that doesn't just become a penalty, saves the game.
Yeah, don't say my TFL yet. We got to get into Ohio State's clock management there late. That was my second game ball, though. Oregon coach Dan Lanning. I thought that was really, really smart, very Belichick-esque. That's finding the rules, bending it around it. It reminded me when Belichick did that a few years ago where he took back-to-back delay of games or false starts, and then the clock had to restart. Just very, very smart and way to, manipulate the rules in your favor, and it worked, right? So great job. And I'm with you. What are we going to investigate? He just bent the rules perfectly.
Yeah. He took advantage of it, and, he had success because of it. My next game ball is going to Jamario Moon and Connor Heyward. Because we got a big punt block in our game because of those two. I know everybody thinks I'm just shouting out my brother because of it, but if you look, I got an Instagram from this, and I just brought it up, from an Instagram called Special Teams Meeting, and they break down the punt block. So Connor does a great job of going back and forth between, the center on both sides, and then it allows, we call this the PP in the back, the fullback. He's looking at who to block. And so there wasn't a lot of communication because of it. And because of that, Jamario Moon is free. And Jamario Moon does a good job of not missing the layup. And, what a big play. Those two worked in, conjunction. And, we get to reap the benefits.
Game ball, Danny Smith, too. I don't know how you guys are so good at that. It feels like you guys are blocking a kick almost every week. And it's clearly designed, it's execution, but Danny Smith deserves a game ball too, man. The special teams has been fantastic. Boswell was great again Sunday. I just can't give that guy enough credit, man. You guys are so good at blocking punts. It's crazy.
I want to give a shout out to Danny Smith. He chews a lot of bubble gum.
He does.
And so, if anyone wants to donate any more bubble gum, we're going to need some more here pretty soon because Danny's going through it every week.
My man, that it looks painful. His jaw has to be sore as hell with the amount of bubble gum he is just chewing at that moment.
I got 2 more game balls. You got any more?
No, go for it.
My next game ball. Have you watched the Starting Five on Netflix yet?
No.
Very good show. It goes through Jason Tatum, Sabonis, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, and Anthony Edwards. And you get to see the behind the scenes of what they're doing, how they take care of their bodies, how they interact with their families. Really well done. Got a lot more respect for just Jimmy Butler. Didn't realize he was dealing with his dad passing away. How big of competitor he is on and off the field when it comes to dominoes. LeBron always taking care of his body. As much wine as he talks about drinking is crazy. I don't think I could ever do that, but just a great show and a joy to watch.
Better than quarterback?
I actually like it better. I do.
Really?
There's a lot more personality in this one.
Okay.
And I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, no. All right, well, I got another game ball then. Love is Blind. I mean, have you caught up?
I'm not caught up.
Man, I will say you could get freezing cold takes for one of your takes last week. I don't want to say which it was, but, man, you got to catch up.
So I am
You gotta catch up.
We're in Mexico right now, right?
Oh.
And shout out to our guy, Nick D, who was on the duck walking around and, completely just ruined the moment. But, it was pretty funny to watch.
Yeah, you got to catch up. If you don't know exactly what's coming, you got to catch up. It's a great show, man. Love is Blind is killing it this year. Game ball, Love is Blind.
I got another game ball.
Yeah, go
and
for
this
it.
applies to this week. Guess what we're wearing? We get the block numbers this week, baby.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I didn't realize that. Wow.
Block numbers this week. Besides a good record and wearing those jerseys, I just think this is a nice fit. Block numbers. Get excited. It's going to be a fun night. Sunday Night Football, Jets. But what better way to play the Jets in some block numbers? I think it's a good touch.
I wouldn't mind those being the full-time unis. I love those block numbers, man, are smooth, man. They look great. I would not mind having those be full-time.
See, this is how old I am. I still wish we could go back to the yellow helmets, black jerseys, white pants. That was such an iconic, switch up for the Steelers. I wish we could bring those back.
Bumblebees? What about those ones?
I like the Bumblebees a little bit.
I never liked the Bumblebees. I never did.
It gave like the Gotham vibe. It was a little bit different. Nobody else was doing it. And, we had a good record in those too.
You do. Like, I will say, the Bumblebees, you guys very rarely lost in those. Very rarely. Man, I didn't know you liked the Bumblebees.
They're historic, bro. That's why I like them.
I mean, the block numbers, though, are too smooth. Just too smooth.
Let's move to TFLs. You go first.
The Ohio State University. You spent $20 million on a roster, and you couldn't spend $1 million on a game clock coach. I mean, what happened there? Will Howard, you got to get down, buddy.
And that's my TFL too.
Got to get down.
My TFL too, but I think my problem is we were in field goal range. Why not run the ball? Because if you do that, you force them to spend a timeout, and you have a timeout as well. It allows you to get in, better range. I think you got a little bit aggressive. You went for the Jeremiah Smith, which I think he's a great player. It got called for a dicey OPI.
I agree with that. I agree.
I just think in that moment I would have ran the ball and, just set myself up for a field goal.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was kind of shocking, but I'm with you. There was so much chaos going on. Then the 12 men on the field penalty. I was just like, dude, you got to get down. I mean, you got one timeout, get down. And I agree. That OPI was bad. That was a bad call.
Yeah.
You want to go your next one?
Yeah.
For it.
This goes from last night. I'm giving it to the refs. There were a lot of penalties in that game, but a lot of them were warranted. That's the bad part.
Yeah.
The game was already chippy heading into it because there was comments from both sides of how each team views the season, how they view playing each other. And so you knew it was going to be extra physical, extra petty. Things were going to happen. But it was like even when you were going to timeouts, stuff was happening, and you couldn't even. You were like, "Wait, what's going on?" Like, every other play there was a false start, there was a penalty, there was a first down coming back. It was hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I saw there was over 200 yards in penalties. That was more than the complete yards from scrimmage for Breece Hall and somebody else in the game. So really, the refs took that game over. Did you see in between the quarters? The lights were off in the stadium, and Deion Dawkins and somebody started going at it in between, like the commercial break.
Yep.
It reminded me of that semi-pro where they didn't want to fight on TV, so they fought during the commercial break. It was wild, man, crazy night. I'm gonna go my other TFL defense on Saturday. No defense played by either team in that Oregon-Ohio State game, and I have some numbers here for Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator of Ohio State. 2022, he gave up 530 yards to Michigan, 533 yards to Georgia. In 2023, 338 yards to Michigan. And in 2024, 496 yards to Oregon. What happened to your university? You guys used to pride yourself on defense, Cam.
We still do.
We
still do.
Man, you spent all that money, and maybe you got to buy a front seven.
No, we have some players up front. That's why the college playoff, it is what it is. But, we got to pick ourselves up. It's not where we want to be, but it's where we want to end up. So, a lot to work on there. I got one more TFL for you, though.
Go for it.
We talked about Tom Brady and him becoming an owner. And, he gets the votes to become a minority owner on the same day Devante is traded. I think that is a TFL because if I'm an owner, I do not want my best player to be leaving my team the same day as I'm signing to become an owner. That's just not the way I roll. You best believe if I buy the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James is traded the same day, I'm going to be hot. If I, take over the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes is gone, I'm going to be hot. If I take over the Pittsburgh Steelers and TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, they're all gone, I'm going to be hot. So, it's tough, but you're learning to be an owner on this day.
Do you think I feel like this deal, he probably knew he was going to be, voted in or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think they called him or like, hey, we're getting rid of Devante, just a heads up before the vote goes through? Do you think he knew, or do you think they didn't tell him anything?
He doesn't have a say-so, but he's like, I guess. Like, I'm sure he knew before everybody else, but man, that's rough. That is rough.
I heard rumors too. Talk about that with Brady. People have been saying a lot of Max Crosby possibly getting traded. They cannot do that, right? Brady's got to put his foot down on that one, right?
Yeah, I think Max brings so much to that team. So many intangibles. Just the way he plays, he studies, and so many people feed off of his energy. They let that guy go. They might as well pack up the team because, man, there's not going to be a lot of guys to replace what he does. Detroit
comes in and offers 2 first-round picks for him.
No.
Really? Wow. No. Even if you're in a full rebuild, I think you got to consider it.
No, because you look at what Detroit does. Okay, you have to – there's no way – like, I guess Detroit is probably saying, hey, we'll make the trade regardless.
Yeah.
And then the next year you have Crosby and you have Hutchinson, which would be deadly. But I'm just like, if you're in a full rebuild, man, be a rebuild, but build through all areas, not just one area. So if you have a strength on your team, keep it as a strength. Don't just make more problems around you. I think, sometimes you can say we have to replace this, so we'll give up this, and then it just becomes a circle of just holes everywhere else.
Well, in theory, too, if you miss on those draft picks, you will have let a guy who's an elite pass rusher in the league go for 2 guys who maybe weren't that good, right? Yes. It can happen. So, All right. But, yeah, I don't know if they'll trade him, but it's weird. It almost feels like a couple of teams are kind of like admitting defeat this year and kind of setting up for next year.
I don't know if anybody's admitting defeat. It's still early in the season, but, we'll see what happens. There's a lot more football to play, and there's a lot more not just football to be done. So appreciate you jumping on today.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a good one. Victory Tuesdays are very nice.
Victory Tuesdays, and hopefully another Victory Sunday.
Yes.
Hopefully everybody's there too. And that is another episode of Not Just Football. Make sure you like and subscribe. And thank you so much for listening to our podcast.